Alright, I got another one. So I just beat Razagath on normal for the first time after spending a grueling amount of fucking hours in it, because people were either trying to quote-unquote give their buddy a carry, or do a paid carry for someone who was item level 317 for Christ's sakes. What the fuck? We had healers who were either so high out of their mind or running on fumes that were not marijuana that they literally were standing in the breath and dying every pull. Or we just had a bunch of trolls. But I finally beat her. I love the cutscene, I thought it was great. But then we go to the loot, and you're like, okay, 3 pieces of loot. This should be fucking illegal. Look at this. What do you see here? 1 dagger, 2 daggers. It should be fucking illegal on any boss, any current content boss, dungeon, mythic plus, rating, world, doesn't matter, for it to drop the same item twice. Unless there is an overwhelming amount of a class in a raid, and I know their systems can detect that. If a raid of 10 beats Razagath, and 5 of the DPS are rogues, and 1 or 2 is, I don't know, Death Knights, then fine, drop 2 daggers. That's an extreme scenario.
Are you sure about that?
Or better yet, just make it to where that never happens, because that's bullshit. So many of people in my raid group literally did not get loot. They didn't even have a chance to get loot, because we're not priests, and we're not rogues, and we're not whoever the hell else can run a dagger. That is absolutely fucking bullshit. And I expected to be disappointed after hours on Razagath. I expected it, right? You know, when you pug, when you're a semi-casual pugger for normal, you just learn to be disappointed at the end of your run. I mostly just did it so I could finally put this character on the shelf for a second, go to my other character and get them through normal now. But still, 2 daggers? For fuck's sake, Blizzard. God, I hate that system. I would rather personal loot be in the game.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Well, how about this, Blizzard? Why are there several of these quests? Well, we have to attune something, or tap something, or charge something, and for some reason only one person can tap the fucking mob at a time. Meaning everybody, if you can just see everybody flying around, we're all just fucking sitting here flying around waiting to yoink a mob from somebody because only one person can touch it at a time. What the hell is this? Was this supposed to encourage, like, world PvP? Because it doesn't. This is annoying. Everyone's just waiting to yoink from one another.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
This one's more of a 50-50 because it has a lot of flavor, but it's also kind of like, logically and even lore-wise, it's pointless flavor. Dragon Skull Expedition, Renown 6, you can unlock the challenge of rock climbing. And then, to a much lesser degree, Ancient Waygates. Like, rock climbing? Well, let me do this. Ancient Waygates, like, we have a dragon. And 9 times out of 10, to get to somewhere on the Dragon Isles, it's, in my opinion, depending on the location, I mean, it's funner to go to Valdrakken, go to the very top to the Seat of the Aspects, and just glide straight off in a direction. To me, I find that a lot funner. I feel like a lot of people find that a lot funner. So Ancient Waygates, it's like, it saves you a little time, and it's like, it's kind of useful, but then I saw stuff that was like, between Ruby Scale Outpost and the Cobalt Assembly. Okay, why would I ever go to the Ruby Scale Outpost? Cobalt Assembly, I can kind of see, but I'd be leveling an ult when I wouldn't even have the Ancient Waygate unlocked. I guess it's just quicker to get there and whatnot. In my opinion, it's quicker to just heart to Valdrakken and then glide over. But I guess for some people, I mean, this could be useful if you just glide over to Cobalt Assembly and then for some reason you gotta go to Ruby Scale Outpost and you can just blink over. I don't see much of a use for that. But this, rock climbing. I have a fucking dragon. Why do I care about rock climbing? We're gonna teach you how to climb this cliff. I can fly to the top of it in 4 seconds. Why am I gonna put in the effort to climb a cliff? That is silly and kind of ridiculous. Now, I said it's 50-50 because flavor-wise, that's, you know, Dragon Skull Expedition, oh, they're doing their expedition, they're rock climbing and looking for treasures and whatnot. But even so, like, lore-wise, maybe it's just the heroes, but we're given dragons, and we're encouraged the dragon ride. And there's dragons all over the place, and there's like a land of high cliffs and whatnot. You'd think you'd come prepared with like flying machines and gliders and whatnot, where you still really wouldn't need to learn how to rock climb. So I'm like, yeah, okay, flavor-wise, it adds in this unique horizontal content you could do. I haven't tried it myself yet. I might, just to see what rewards I get out of it. Hopefully nothing boring like, here's a mining pick. But logically and like lore-wise, it just makes no sense for me to interact with it. I have a fucking dragon.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
I'm playing my Death Knight. I love my Death Knight. My main would be Monk, my secondary would be Death Knight, and every expansion I would choose to play these two over any other character for any other amount of time. I love these two characters. I played all throughout the end of BFA on my Death Knight when I made her, and I played all throughout Shadowlands on my Death Knight. Well, the rant is this. Some of the abilities from Shadowlands were baked into the character. Some were not. For instance, I played Revendreth Death Knight. I do not have Swarming Mist anymore. Okay. Or maybe it's for Blood. I think it's actually for Blood. I'm Frost. But then here's the problem. While we did get the new talent trees, as far as I know, some classes didn't exactly, and I think they all should have, some classes did not exactly get new abilities at all. We got old abilities and sets and whatnot that we have been using for the last expansion, 2 to 3 years. Some of them, even Azurite abilities from BFA. So if you want to clock that in, what, 4 to 6 years? Possibly 7 if I'm really forgetting how long BFA was. Well, let's safely say 4 to 6 years. Now in this expansion, it's nothing new. We got a new way of choosing the talents and the freedom to choose them, sure, but there are some new passives. I will say that. Frost Death Knight does have some new passives, but I mean, they're passives for a reason. Like, one of them is that if I use Breath of Sinjagosa or Frostwind's Fury, I summon a little whelpling to blast people in front of me. That's kind of cool, but it's not the same as like an actual core ability, which is what BFA gave us in the form of the Heart of Azeroth. It's what a lot of older expansions did in the form of new talent, new rows of talents that gave us new abilities. It's not the same as even Shadowlands that gave us a new Covenant ability, 1 per class. Every class having 4 new abilities that you could choose from. But now there is no new ability. I'm doing the same rotation. I'm using the same abilities that I used in Shadowlands. And it just feels dull. It feels stale. Like, I get it, nobody liked the secondary or the tertiary systems of power and whatnot, but I would rather have that if it meant I can get another new addition to my class. Because the talent trees are nice, but I don't consider it an addition. It's stuff we've already had in the past. A lot of it just passive abilities that were just baked into the tree. Nothing really new was given to our classes in the form of a core rotation. Maybe there's a class or two that has like one of their newer little passives that slightly moves an ability up on the priority list. Hell, maybe in a rare scenario, and I'm saying it's rare because I don't believe it's the case, maybe a new passive ability or new tweaking of an ability gave one ability on a class a new spot in the rotation it did not have before. Maybe, I don't know. I would bet money that's not the case. So yeah, that's my rant on this, is that I don't know, I'm doing the same rotation I did for the last 3, 4, 5 years on Frosty K. I don't know. I just kind of wish I was given something new to play with, a new ability. In my personal opinion, every single expansion, the characters need to be given a new ability, a new core spell. That is my personal opinion. Oh, what about Spell Bloat? What about Spell Bloat? Plenty of classes have abilities right now that they're never going to touch because they suck or they're simply underutilized and they're never going to be balanced to be good. Like Crackling Jade Lightning for Monk. It was good in Legion when you got the legendary for it, and only if that was the only good legendary you had. Because there were 2 legendaries you were supposed to use above that one. But that was the only time Crackling Jade was even relevant. Right now, I could talent for that, but it would be pointless. Because it simply doesn't do anywhere near enough damage. And especially with Crackling Jade Lightning on a Monk, if somebody sees you use that in a Mythic Plus or a Raid, you're going to get kicked. They will remove you. Because your DPS is going to be very subpar, and someone's going to call out that you're using that ability, unironically. So yeah, that's my rant on this one. I think every expansion we should be given a new ability, a new core ability, not something like Chi Orbit for monks back with the old talent trees. That was dog shit. Because right now, like I said, I'm just bored playing the same rotation for the last 4 to 5 years. I think they really need to look at classes and either add new abilities to us, or tweak abilities around so we can actually use an underutilized ability in our rotation, or do something so that we do not play the classes generally the same way for years upon years upon years upon years, which was kind of what was not happening with BFA Heart of Azeroth, a little bit with the Covenant abilities, and then the Legion artifacts with the new artifact abilities and different effects that would happen. Kind of like how Monk Fist of Fury would have you summon spirits. It at least added a big visual change to your class that made it not feel stale. Hey, classmate, stay quiet so the Grandmaster doesn't hear us talking during training. Could you spare a subscribe and a like? Maybe click the bell as well if it's not too much trouble? Thanks. Oh, Grandmaster's coming this way. Act natural.